So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Photopea, which is a free online photo editor, very similar to Photoshop. Not quite as sophisticated, but for a free website is absolutely fantastic. So what you might need to do is go to slide 6 from lesson 1, where you listed 3 people that you wanted to do a portrait of, and you're going to select one of those people now, and you're going to find a picture of them. I'm just going to go with Beyonce for ease because there's loads of photos of her and also she's a legend. Now, what we need is something with a very plain background. Photopea is quite basic. It doesn't have the tools that Photoshop has. So if I was to select, say, something like this, Photopea would muddle up that red carpet and the red on the dots there. And when I remove the background, it would also remove this red here on the dots, and we'd end up with a bit of a funny picture. So anything like this with a very simple background would work brilliantly. And I think I went with this one, and I'm just going to copy that image there now. So you're going to open up Photopea online, and from here, there's not a lot for us to do, so we need to select new project. Now, I don't want to do a social media campaign. I need a piece of A4 paper. So that's why I'm going to select print here, and I'm going to select A4 and create. Okay, obviously just paste that in. Now, your picture will come in really small. Okay, so I would go on to edit, and then I would do free transform, and we will just make that bigger so it fills the canvas more. Okay, so let's make it so it fills as much of the page as possible, and then press return on your keyboard. Okay, so now we've got that there. We need to remove the background, so we do select, remove background, and it'll take it away. Okay, if you're having a problem with that and it's taking out parts of your portrait, it's probably because, as I was saying earlier, that your background wasn't plain enough on your picture selection. So something like that wouldn't work at all. So you need to maybe potentially get a new picture. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do 3 examples of hue saturation, and we're going to change the colours in the bright pop art style. So we select image, we select adjustments, and we kind of come down to hue saturation, which is just about there. Okay, in the top third. That'll cover her face. We don't want that, so we're going to drag that across, and we're going to play with some of the colours. So you will see in a minute. So you could see then it wasn't changing the colours on her face, and I realised that on my computer I had this part of the layer highlighted. So if that happens to you when you move the slider, what you need to do is make sure that this part of the layer is highlighted. So close the window and make sure that that's highlighted first. Nice little learning moment. Let's go back into hue saturation. So now I'm using the slider, it's working, and green is a cold colour, blue is a cold colour. Then we've got over here, we can go into our kind of pinky tones, reddish tones, yellowy. So I quite like that sort of turquoise colour. And then with the saturation, I can either go down to make it pastel, or I can bring it right up to make it really a little bit mad. I quite like the contrast with the hair being lighter. And then I can go a bit darker and bring out some of the darker tones here. Okay, I press OK. So what I'm going to do now is I need to get this now into the student workbook. Okay, so we're going to go File, and we're going to go Export As, and it's really important we're exporting as a JPEG. Okay, Give that a little minute to think. It'll always do this zoom in. Don't worry about it. It will save it all. So you just press OK. And then if I just move my screen recorder out of the way, that's gone into my downloads. I can open that up. Give it a little minute to think. Let's open that up in Photos, and then it's just having a little second. It's because I've got a lot of apps open at the minute and it's bogging down the computer and making it run slow. There it is at the bottom. And all I do is copy and paste that into now. Let's move this out of the way. Copy that by right-clicking my mouse pad and then go down to today's lesson, which is here, slide 13. And I will paste it in. Now she's a bit big, so we'll just make it a bit smaller. Okay, we'll drag it over experiment 1. And then this is another reason why we're using PowerPoint to save our work. If we go on to colour here, and that's in picture format at the top there on the right hand side, you can set the background as transparent and then it will just go in that box quite nicely. And you're essentially going to repeat the process until you have got 3 different colorways that you like. You must have hot and cold. Purple is classed as cold, so the next one I have to do is definitely going to have to be a hot color one. Again, I'm just going to save that. Okay, let's move this over here. Give that a second because my computer is glitching a lot at the minute. I've got too many applications open. I'm going to copy that one. Again, back into my student workbook. Paste that in. I'm going to reset the background. And I'll do a hot coloured one in a second. I'm then going to answer all of these questions about it, and that is step 1 today.